I guess we're good to go. So welcome everyone to the Italian Cosmetics Day in Canada. I'm glad you could join us today. My name is Jim Hicks, and I'm the Executive Director of Beauty Publications and Events for the Cosmetics Alliance Canada. I have been publisher of Cosmetics magazine for over 30 years now. And I remember when I started in this industry, I knew nothing about beauty, and I was told that if you want to learn a little bit more about beauty, you must visit Bologna in Italy and visit Cosmoprof. And I had the privilege to travel to Cosmoprof in Bologna for 15 consecutive years and enjoyed every minute of my Italian experience. So I welcome today as we celebrate Italy and Italian brands. So today our goal is to increase your awareness of the Italian beauty products. And to help us do that, we will hear from 4 different companies currently dealing with Italian brands. After their presentations, we'll hear from Alessandra Allegri, International Sales Manager of Cosmoprof. But before we do that, I want to welcome the Canadian-Italian Trade Commissioner. Marco Saladini is Trade Commissioner, ITC Canada, managing the Toronto and Montreal offices of the Italian Trade Agency. He is responsible for developing trade and investment relations between Canada and Italy in a wide range of industries, including industrial machinery, food, wine, and of course, beauty. Marco has extensive overseas experience and holds a master's degree in political science and a certificate in emerging markets. Welcome, Marco.
My microphone is now open. Thank you, Jim. And thank you for the warm welcome. Good morning, everyone. I'm so glad to be with you here today. I have a few slides to show you about the Italian-Canadian relationship. So I will proceed to do that. And please stop me if you don't see them. Today, we start talking about us quickly. We are the governmental agency that supports the business development of Italian companies abroad and also promotes the attraction of foreign investment to Italy. So we can vouch for both of those needs and support both of those needs. And we have a network of 79 offices in 65 countries today. And in Canada, we have 2 offices in Toronto and in Montreal. And we are also known as Délégation Commerciale d'Italie, as you can imagine, but mostly about what they talk about us as the Italian Trade Commission. So we do have a website, and we do have space for your requests and offers of products in our database. So please visit that, and of course you'll receive the presentation with all the live links to follow. For getting closer to Italian suppliers and Italian cosmetics manufacturers. So what do we do for Canadian companies though? Because of course we do a lot for Italian companies, but how about Canadians? Okay, we act as a gateway for enterprises that want to establish business relationships. That's what we said. And in particular, we bring Italian suppliers to major international events, conferences, and trade shows. We sponsor delegates to trade shows in Italy, including Cosmoprof. We attract investors' attention to opportunities in Italy, and we have a desk specialized here in Canada to assist investors in doing that. We do help a lot of Italian companies find partners in Canada. So we introduce new partners to you, to the Canadian potential buyers, partners, in order to explain the offer, and make it easier to communicate and find a moment to solidify a deal. And then we compile and publish market reports, statistics, and industry analysis, and we organize events and meetings in several sectors, including cosmetics, including this webinar. So now, both sides of the strong relationship that I was mentioning before between the two countries can be a little bit characterized. I mean, I don't need to tell anyone here probably about Canada, except maybe a few Italian companies that might be following this webinar. So we put a slide for that too. Canada has a population of 38 million, and market size is about 3.3 billion for cosmetics. Of course, there are manufacturing facilities in the number of 238, sorry, and in some 1,800 stores. The industry revenue is definitely not so bad, 1.5 billion in 2021, and there's been an annual growth of sizable 1.3% every year, not huge, but steady, with good profits and good employment numbers. And we will look at the statistics about imports later, but let me just say, just to give you this basic number, the total imports of cosmetics amount to 4 billion Canadian dollars, which is about 2.5 billion euros. On the Italian side, which will be also the subject of the next presentation, let me just quickly browse some data. We have 59 million people, residents in Italy. The manufacturing production value is about 12 billion euros. The source is the association that is here and is organizing this webinar also with us, Cosmetica Italia. And then we have an annual growth forecast for 2022-2027 of 4.2%. So a vibrant industry that is still growing. And there are 195 producers which can boast a revenue per year of more than 10 million euros. The industry employs about 36,000 people in an extended concept, like all the manufacturing combination of like producers of machines, but also cosmetics, etc. And specialized stores in the number of 1,300. And again, the imports of cosmetics are 2.1 million euros for Italy, which is roughly the same as Canada, but of course a little bit less in per capita than Canada. And where is the concentration, the biggest concentration of cosmetics manufacturers? First comes Lombardy, the region whose capital is Milan, with 55.5%. Then we have Emilia-Romagna, where Cosmoprof is held in the region capital of Bologna, with 10.1%, and follows suit by Veneto with 7.2%. Veneto is the region where Venezia is, as you can remember. Let's take a look now at the trade flows. Just to situate ourselves, okay, just to have an idea of the size and of the importance of each foreign supplier. Here we drafted a couple of charts. Market share for the US, which is the biggest, is 63.4%, and we're talking about the weight of purchases from the States into Canada in 2021, the first 11 months. Over the total purchases. So Italy is third, though, with 4.5%, and a decent increase in its market share in 2021. Again, the value is about 179 million Canadian dollars for Italy, over a total, as we said, of 4 billion. The other side of the relationship, cosmetics export from Canada into different countries. Again, the US is the most favored destination of Canadian exports of cosmetics, with almost 80%. And Italy actually comes a lot more towards the end of the ranking, with at 29th with 0.1%. So Italians don't buy so many cosmetics from Canada, vice versa. it works a little bit better. There are, in fact, several brands already circulating in Canada. We have some here. I don't want to mention the names, it would take too long of your time, but you know, some of them may be familiar to you, and one of them is actually here with us, and you'll find out very soon. We do have a breakdown of what is sold by Italian companies in Italy in the first 11 months of 2021. So in the first position, we have perfumes and toilet waters, which represent 43.3% of the total. Which have grown 43.3% in 2020. Sorry about that. Over 2020. So in 2021, they grew that much. And then going down, we have beauty or makeup, shampoos, eye makeup preparations. I mean, these are categories that are coming up, and other categories are slightly falling. So, I was going towards the next presentation that I will give at the end, but not to spoil your surprise, please stay with us, because we will introduce a new tool that we have prepared for facilitating the business relationship between Canadian and Italian companies specializing in cosmetics. So please stay with us, and I promise that you won't be dissatisfied. Thank you, Jim, and I'll leave the floor to you now.
Thank you, Marco. And Marco will be back later on to share some exciting news with us. It's now my pleasure to introduce Benedetto Lavino. Has been the Vice President of Cosmetica Italia for the past 4 years and has overseen Bottega Verde for over a decade, starting as General Manager and later as Executive President. He's responsible for Centro Studi and the Natural and Sustainable Cosmetics Commission. Welcome, Benedetto.
Well, thank you very much for your introduction. And it's a pleasure for me today to be here with you. And as I said, my name is Benedetto, and I am the Vice President of Cosmetica Italia, the Italian Cosmetic Association. And in the spare time, I'm also the CEO of Bottega Verde, which is actually an Italian cosmetic company dedicated to natural cosmetics. Today, I'm gonna walk you through some of the characteristics of our Italian market. I hope you can see the presentation in your screen. So the Italian cosmetics industry, an asset, a vision. Well, that was quite inspirational. So just to share with you some numbers. Well, the whole Italian cosmetic market is worth about 11 billion euros, and let's say the whole cosmetic value chain it counts for 43 billion euros. The surplus that the cosmetic industry creates in Italy is 2.7 billion. So it's quite an important asset for our country. And the annual growth at the end of 2021 was about 0.4, of course, bouncing from 2020. That was, of course, a quite difficult year for everybody. Well, the average industry investment in innovation and technology is about 6%, so it's quite high. And nowadays we count around 1,300 number of national cosmetics businesses. So it's a very important industry for our country. Basically, the employees that are directly connected to this industry are about 36,000, and the whole filiera, the whole value chain, actually engages more than 400,000 people. The share of the export, it's very important, is around 30%. We both export brands and manufacturing. The export value on the 11 billions is around 4.7 billions. And this makes Italy as the world's 6th largest exporter. And we do have our leadership. For example, the makeup. Makeup is the third. Italy is the third largest European cosmetic manufacturers, and is the first makeup manufacturers in the world. Consider that the 67% of the European product consumption and 55% of global product consumption of makeup is generated by makeup manufactured in Italy. So we do have an expertise there, and not only there. As you know, Italy is made in Italy is already a brand. Okay, today Made in Italy is an international, not only today actually, as an international recognition, as a brand synonymous of creativity, taste, lifestyle, style, and design. Actually, people associate to Made in Italy beautiful and well-made things. You know? So the reputation is pretty high, and Made in Italy is attributed as a brand by the most demanding and selective consumers worldwide in a range of different sectors like fashion, design, automobile industry, jewelry, and food, until cosmetics. This was a little tribute to our cosmetic manufacturing. So why choose the Italian cosmetics products? Which are our point of strengths? Well, as I highlighted before, what we invest in research and innovation is a lot. And actually the results are the numbers that we've been commenting before. So definitely this is one of our point of strengths. Not only that, quality, as I said, made in Italy, it's very important. We do have an Italian culture, an artisan culture, and a real craftsmanship that goes from how to design a machine that will produce a product until how to produce that products. Safety, we do have a super strict protection of consumer health protocols, and this is actually one of our assets that has to be reminded. Then, of course, being Italian and working in design and fashion, we have the ability to understand and adapt to fashion trends. This is absolutely in our DNA. Originality, sorry, imagination, creativity, and originality have always inspired artistic and cultural works, not only in arts, but also in business like fashion and cosmetic business. This is an indefinable value. The design is definitely one of the most important point of strength of choosing an Italian brand. Okay, the cultural beauty emerges in every detail. The aim is constantly create designer products which are the result of international expertise. This you can find it, especially in the packaging, in the design of our packaging, especially in the perfumes, for example. Eco-sustainable approach. We do have many leadership on this. We do have a green commission in Italy that actually takes care of all this, of all the aspect of sustainability of a green approach, which is now something that is crucial to be competitive in the future. Production flexibility. We do really have an incredible manufacturing district in Italy, and as we were commenting before, the Italian cosmetic manufacturer is really on the top of the world as for quality, flexibility, and also leadership in different product ranges. Customer responsiveness, definitely, we are a proactive our capability to be responsive and proactive is part of the Italian DNA. So this was a brief introduction of our peculiarities as Italian cosmetic brands and manufacturers. I hope you have enjoyed the presentation, and I will leave the floor to the panelists. Thank you very much, and on behalf also of the President and the Board of Cosmetica Italia, thank you very much for being with us today. Thank you, and stay safe.
Benedetto, thank you very much for that wonderful oversight, overview, I should say. It's my privilege now to introduce 4 different panelists from 4 different countries to talk about their experience in the Italian brands. So I'll do it individually, and starting with Magda Frederik. She is president of Magda Frederik Cosmetic and has been working in the cosmetics sector for over 30 years and has enjoyed several years of collaborations with Italian cosmetics companies. She was the cosmetics distributor and trainer in beauty schools and spas across Canada for many years. She established a natural facial rejuvenation protocol, which she taught and successfully applied at a rejuvenation center for over 17 years. For the past 2 years, in collaboration with Italian laboratories, she's been working to finalize the concept of care products, which will officially be launched in the spring of this year. Magda, I'd like to welcome you. Tell us a little bit about your company, and then I'll ask you a couple of questions.
Hi, Jim. Hi, everyone. Hi, I'm very happy to be here. I'm sorry for my English. I'm mostly French. but I'm going to do my best. You hear me very well? Is that okay? Okay. So I'm Magda Frederik. I'm very happy to be here today. I've been in the field of cosmetics for more than 30 years. I have imported and distributed Italian cosmetics from 0 to 600 point of sale in Canadian market. I have done many conferences, training, as you said, and for the professional aesthetics and cosmetology schools. I'm currently preparing to launch my own brand based on innovative and unique green concept this spring coming. Of course, the projects are Italian, but the concept has been developed in Canada. I will looking forward to sell the product in department stores, beauty salon, and spa. But the question you've been asking, why I've been choose Italian product? It's a long story. This story starts 35 years ago with the Italian Trade Commissions in Montreal. And it's a love story. It's like everything in Italy, the food, the wine, and the cosmetic. For me, it's really a love story. So I'm not very objective, but I can tell you something. I've been 35 years with Italian cosmetics. So why I stay with Italian cosmetics? It's because I never found better than Italian cosmetics. So my website will be effective, active next month. In the meantime, I will put contents in Instagram. So thank you.
Thank you, Magda. My first question is, with the organic trend gaining some momentum over the past couple of years, how important do you think that organic trend is to products developed today?
Organic products are important as they are globalized trend. Consumers all over the world are more and more conscious about the ingredients they're using and where those ingredients from. There are also no way for a customer to guarantee that a product is organic. So, in order to gain customer trust, obtaining well-recognized certifications like EcoCert and USDA Organic is definitive advantage for the market if you head into this market. But like everything else, you have to weigh the cost of this and the benefit for the market you are seeking. If you're aiming for performance market, there is no advantage to get all those certificates. So you have to be very aware of the organic label fits with your brand's messaging and goals. Also, if you planning to import cosmetic in Canada and claims to be organic, you must make sure to consult the Health Canada website. This is very important to make sure that the ingredients and the labeling is in the line with what is legally permitted. But it's not only for organic, ecological product, it's for all cosmetics. This is the first thing to do.
Thank you, Magda. And how important do you think branding and marketing is to a brand's success?
It's the base. It's important. It's vital. It communicates the value of your offering to the market. And it is essential for it to be strong. In order for your brand to perform well in export markets, it is important to be able to provide agents and distributors with strong brand assets and promotional materials that will help them establish your brands in your markets. Aside from this, without strong marketing tools that clearly explain that the unique selling propositions of your brand are, it is easy to get lost in the mix. The market is extremely competitive, and the stronger your brand and its messaging is, the more chance you have to be in the market.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Magda. And we will open it up to questions later on. So Magda, you may be asked a question, but thanks for your presentation this morning.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I thank you. Thank you.
Our next presenter is Fabio Franchina, president of Framesi Spa, who started his career in the family company as marketing manager and later on became sales and export manager and general director. He contributed to the growth and expansion of Framesi in many international markets and started an important process in the company makeover, both in its management and its image. Under his guidance, Framesi as a brand has become a benchmark for all the professionals in the hairdressing market. Fabio is the president, or has been the president of Cosmetica Italia, the president of Cosmetics Europe, and former president of the Professional Products for Hairdressers Group in Cosmetica Italia. He's a member of the Cosmetica Italia Council and BOD of Cosmetics Europe, and a member of the board council of Federchimica, and recently has joined the board of directors of Cosmetics Alliance Canada. Welcome, Fabio.
Here we are. Well, thank you, Jim. I mean, great presentation. I mean, I feel a little bit embarrassed for all the different roles in the different association. Let me talk briefly about my company for a couple of good reasons. First of all, to understand a little bit better who we are and what we do. As you mentioned, Framesi, it's the oldest Italian company specialized in professional products for hair. So that means that the company that was founded by my father in 1945, since the beginning decided to work with the hairdresser only. And we developed the same philosophy everywhere, providing either products, service, education, all the tools that the hairdresser needs. We developed the business quite nicely. We're in 75 countries in the world today. And we are undoubtedly one of the key elements, or as you mentioned, one of the benchmarks for this business in this part of the world. One of the things that few people know that Canada has been our second market in 1975. So we have been privileged to work with Canada long time ago. Let's put it that way. And since then, we had the opportunity to develop business with different kind of partners. Recently, we decided to move most of our business from the US and not from Italy. So we are now strictly linked with the Canadian market, but through our American branch. So that's who we are and what we do.
Okay, well, thank you. I have a couple of questions for you. What makes the Made in Italy so special, especially in the cosmetics arena?
Well, Benedetto did a lovely presentation today, providing lots of details. We have seen a major evolution of cosmetics. Cosmetics move from beauty to well-being, and from well-being to a higher role. That is basically what we call the social role of cosmetics, because if you want to deal with other people, the first thing that we need to see is something beautiful in front of the mirror. And we have a major role. I mean, people cannot survive without cosmetics. There is no man in the world that doesn't use any less than 7 cosmetics every single day. And I'm not counting how many women usually do it. So we are a basic element. What makes Italy or the made in Italy different? Oh, I think that we need to talk about the well made in Italy, because it's not just, the made in Italy is not good enough. What we try to do, as Benedetto specified quite nicely, we put a lot of passion joining culture, design, a little touch of fashion, something that really makes our product a little bit special. Undoubtedly, Europe is probably the strictest market where you can make products because the regulation that we have is very tight. But on top of that, what the Italian can put is a little twist of creativity, passion, and a lot of different elements that can make this product really special. On top, the flexibility that we have can allow you to have a product tailor-made that is not so common. So flexibility, creativity, design, and all the other little elements probably make this land the land of beauty in some way, somehow. And as Benedetto say, over 65% of makeup products are made in Italy. But we have to remember that lots of color for hair are made in Italy. And if you want to go back to a long time ago, the first concept of the spa, salus per aquam, were born probably in Rome with the Romans. So we have a lot of tradition that we still take, and that really helps us to be different in the world of cosmetics.
Thank you, that's great. You know, we've been stuck in this COVID thing for over 2 years now, and I'd like to know what you think about market trends and consumer behavior, how they'll change post-COVID.
Well, I believe that we will see a major difference in a really short time. I mean, what we have been through in the last 2 years has been absolutely a dramatic experience in many ways. And what we see is that more and more consumers are rethinking about the priority, values. And this, for example, sustainability is one of, for example, more and more people decide that from now on, probably they need to behave in a much better way. So not only in terms of personal behavior, but especially in purchasing behavior. So they will select for sure companies that are not just good in terms of policy, but are good in with the environment, with the world, basically. Another major thing that dramatically changed is the relation with technology, that not only develop a much easier way to be in touch with any kind of digital support and input, but allowed people to understand and see and understand more anything they are looking for. One of the things that we truly believe we will see is that all the shoppers are going to turn to be smart shopper. And the smart shopper are the people that want to spend the money in the best way possible. They don't want to save money. They want to buy the best product for the best price. And in the meantime, they want to do what we call the memorable experience. So any kind of purchasing activity need to be supported by a wonderful relation. Could be real or could be maybe digital, but need to be special and different. So what we really see, what I see, is that the consumer from tomorrow on will be undoubtedly more focused on, and all the trends for sure, more focused on buying something that is good, something that provides the best quality possible, something that will be driven by tremendous positive support overall, not just on the product itself, because whatever we're going to buy from now on need to be better in all the way possible.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Our next presenter is Marie Farrell, president of Prestalux, Inc., who joined the Prestalux family in 2012. Marie Farrell has held several roles in the company before owner Nina Dyson appointed her president in 2021. Marie succeeded Francois Carlier after working alongside him for many years as vice president of marketing and strategy, as well as strategic advisor to the president. Marie honed her expertise working with renowned companies, including Maison Cartier, Shiseido UK, Declior, Carita, in countries ranging from the United Kingdom, France, and Canada. Due to the breadth of these past experiences, Marie has gained a thorough understanding of the international beauty landscape. Over and above her professional strengths and abilities, Marie is a passionate woman driven by a creative spirit. These traits undoubtedly stem from her 10 years of dedication to classical dance that ultimately led her to the professional stage. The level of discipline and perseverance that the art of dance demands is visible within Marie's personality, as well as the vision that she brings to the company she now leads. Marie, good morning.
Good morning, Jim. Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be with you all this morning and be able to talk about this beautiful Italian beauty that we all love so passionately. So thank you. So I'll talk a bit about Prestilux and the company that I now manage. So Prestilux is one of the well-respected distributor here in Canada. For beauty brands. We offer a full range of integrated services, and we are present in all the major retail chains and channels in Canada. So that's about over 3,000 point of sales from coast to coast. So whether we're talking department stores, drugstores, specialty boutiques, and also we manage e-shops because digital sales has been growing tremendously before COVID, but obviously with the COVID hitting the world. Prestilux is a company that was born in 1917. It's always been a family affair over the last 50 years. And the company was originally established to represent the Christian Dior perfumes. And since then, we've launched brands here in Canada, such as Rock, Bioderma, Declior, Carita, which I knew from my previous life in France. And we represent today about 13 brands, where we're talking fragrances, skincare, but also makeup. And especially makeup, because we are the very proud partner of Pupa Milano, which is an Italian-born company that we are representing and that we've been partnering with since 2002. And that has been also established in the 70s back in Italy, and is one of the leading and most reputable ambassador of the Made Italy, of Made Well in Italy, should I say, as Fabio was mentioning earlier. It's a brand that has impressive DNA, strong DNA. It was one of the brands that created the beauty kits back in the 70s, and it's really well known now for its mascara and the Vamp concession that has been celebrating its 10th anniversary. And so we are distributing that brand specifically in Quebec, in most of the pharmacies, also on the web and in some chains in English Canada.
Thank you, Marie. Couple of questions for you. Why choose a product from Italy?
Well, I think Fabio mentioned it, Magda as well, and Benedetto did a great presentation, obviously. So, I think key words such as design, craftsmanship, creativity, innovation, and passions are clearly, strong attributes that we are looking into a brand, and to why importing such a brand here in Canada. So I think, you know, we have different places in the world where beauty is a reference. There is France, there is United States, but Italy is clearly a key player. And so for us as a partner and as a beauty growth catalyzer and a beauty brand builder here in Canada, it is important that we are representing Italian beauty to offer the best and the most innovative products to the Canadian consumers who are, as Magda was mentioning earlier, looking for new attributes, product quality, but also the story behind the brand. And that echoes what you were saying, Magda, about the marketing as well.
That's great. And along the same lines, how do you actually choose that product? As a distributor in Canada, how do you choose that Italian beauty product to put in your roster of brands that you offer the consumer?
Well, it's a very good question, Jim, and it's hard to choose sometimes, but I'll say it's all about chemistry first. Chemistry between the brand and between our organization. Above all, for us as a Canadian distributor in the beauty industry, it is very important to grow the beauty market here in Canada. So it's not to offer a competitive product to what exists already in the market, but most of all to offer a differentiated product so that the overall cosmetic market and the overall beauty pie grows here for the Canadian consumer needs, really. So that's really the first objective. The second one is it's really the underlying criteria of the very first one, which is the product has to be on trend. So it has to answer the consumer needs, that's for sure. And it has to be of good quality. Because we know, and you know, all of us as panelists and experts of the industry, we know that it is a very dynamic sector, and there are many brands that are launched every year, and we have to select the right one that will be building a long-term partnership, because we are a long-term partner really for those brands. The other criteria that we are actually looking carefully is the brand awareness and the international presence of a brand. It is always easier to build from something that is existing and something that is already trusted as opposed to something completely new. So for us, really to look at the brand awareness worldwide and ideally in the Canadian consumer and the press is key. Also, and that's key because, you know, for a brand made in Italy, there are many orientations and many countries to focus on. So Canada must be a priority market. Why? There are two reasons. The first reason is that Canada is a very large country. So it is an expensive country to cover from coast to coast, from east to west. And then the second criteria is that it has to understand that the way that the Canadian market is made in the beauty industry is via chains. So it can be costly to cover those chains as well. It gives you a great entry in the market because when you open those doors, you know, you'll certainly have a great presence, but it can be quite costly as well. And finally, but not least, it has to be compliant with the Canadian regulation, like Magda was mentioning earlier. Is the very first thing to check. Health Canada is a tight regulation body, so it has to be compliant with our national rules. And I think that's really, it is the kind of mix of criteria that we are looking at.
Marie, thank you very much. Some great points, and thanks for bringing those to our attention today. So
thank you.
Thank you again. Our next presenter is Ronald Jean, who is the managing director of the Brueckner Group here in Canada. With a degree in oceanography and a master's in engineering, Ronald Jean entered the spa industry in 1978 with a fresh perspective. With a proven success record, spanning over 20 years as owner of numerous aesthetic institutes and day spas, and over 40 years as an international distributor. Ron is the ideal addition to the Pavonia International Global Distribution Network and contributed to over 50 different country distributors over the years. In a consulting role since the 1980s, Ron has designed clinics, spas, aesthetic schools, resort spas, provided concept for hotel spas, medical spas, and repositioning of spas throughout the world. As a distributor in the spa industry for over 40 years, Ron's expertise, passion, and commitment have shaped and directly contributed to the success of the spa industry, as well as the global success of Pavonia Botanic brands. As a highly sought after educator, speaker, researcher, consultant, and ambassador to the spa industry, Ron has become a trusted visionary for this sector. Ron, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Jim. It's a pleasure to be here, and especially with such distinguished peers that have presented earlier today. How inspiring a lot of it is. I'll just summarize what we do. My company is really a business-to-business products and services to the spa and the aesthetic industry around the world, and that encompasses the distribution, importation, distribution of products and equipment, the educational component, and the consultancy, which is all the designs that we go through, concepts and designs for developing spas or working with hotel chains to develop their spa concept. Jim?
Yep, great. Thanks, Ron, very much. Couple of questions for you. Obviously, you spent many years in the spa, on the spa side of the beauty business, and if a brand wanted to succeed in this sector, what would you recommend?
Wow, there's Fabio had mentioned earlier that the spa originated way back when. So starting from the traditional European concept, the spa industry has really changed. Primarily, it used to be a wellness industry that you're trying to get an improvement in your well-being through the modality of water. So that was the traditional concept of spa. However, over the years, this concept of spa has changed and it's become multidisciplinary. So not only are you including water therapies, it includes massage, it includes beauty, aesthetics, and makeup, and it's really developed extensively. It started with the European Foundation and then developed through an explosion with the US and Asian countries participating in this concept and harmonizing it all together. And really, really nicely, I have to say that Cosmoprof was a leader in having everybody come to this meeting point and exchanging ideas. It's been an incredible journey over the past 40-something years. So you now have destination spas, you have day spas, you have hotel spas, you have medical spas, you have many different aspects of places that are distinguishing themselves within the industry. And again, what we're talking about here is not only products, not only equipment, but also a lot of skill training and concept development. In Italy, for example, I've worked with several architects, very, very good architects and creative minds over there. Some business management people developed areas that incorporate ski resorts or ocean sides that are really developing over there. So in order to succeed with such an expanded market, when I started, there wasn't so many spas that you could find worldwide. It was a unique entity. People wanted to go to a spa. What is a spa? Now, many people have been to spa. Most people have been to spa. So when you're looking at that, in order to succeed, I think what you have to do is really define your niche, really, really clearly and divide it well. Which type of spa do you want to be? What are the elements that will distinguish you or make you unique in order to get into that market. And then the second thing would be to develop your team. And when I say your team, not only the people of your company, but also the visionaries. There are, for example, in Italy, there's a company called Acquademy. Okay, so right out of the blue, they came out and created concepts where you could use water as a modality to improve your well-being. And they're very, very forefront. And there's so many manufacturers of equipment. At Cosmoprof, you also see sometimes massage demonstrations and competitions where you could see them exercising and displaying some of their skills that they've learned. So whether that's within the context of a trade show, or if you go throughout the country and meet with all the people, you need to build your team with the correct people that will help you identify your vision. Now, sometimes your vision and your concept that you want to develop is new, it's innovative. And there's no better place to go than Italy for the innovation. Everybody talks about creativity, about innovation. It's not a me too, or it's not copy everybody else's and maybe put a twist or different color on it. It's really the innovative spirit that you can find there. And there's many, many opportunities for you there.
Great. Well, thank you. Thank you, Ron. One other question. How important do you think packaging is to the success of a particular brand?
That was an interesting question. I participated as a presenter at the Monaco Spa event. That was years and years ago. For maybe some people went to there. And at that event, one of the presenters was showing silhouettes of different packaging and what people recognized and what they did not. And it was amazing without even reading the brand or knowing, just the shape of the bottle or the package or the jar was an identifying character. And out of a room of 800 people, people would all wave and recognize the brands immediately. So I would say that your packaging would be really, really hand in hand with what is inside. You see the packaging first before you had the opportunity to taste it, okay? But once you've tasted, maybe a habitual user who already knows the product might want a beautiful packaging that will complement the product that's inside. There's you're not going to drink champagne out of a plastic bottle or a plastic cup or a paper cup, for example. You're going to want it out of a fine presentation. But your packaging will dispose the people to buy. It already positions the product in a particular market niche and appeal for you to go afterwards. And it's the result of the content that will go in it that will satisfy that person's perception of what it is that they're investing into. So packaging is really, really important, whether it's design for appeal, the look, the feel, the functionality of the packaging. Some of the packaging sometimes is just not practical when you get it in a consumer usage. And so I think that packaging is a key role that work hand in hand with your product and express it. It's like clothes. You have a person and they wear the clothes and they wear the makeup and they get their hair done and they look really good. It's a presentation, external presentation of what's inside and what's to come.
Great. Well, very good. Great points. Great points. Well, thank you all for your presentations today. We have a couple of questions. One I'll direct to you, Marie. And the question is, when is the right time for a cosmetic startup to approach a distributor like yours?
So thank you for the question. So I think the right time is really to look at, as I was mentioning earlier, the priority of internationalization of a brand. So once the brand a startup brand feels that it is mature enough to go after the international market and to go after the North American continent, then I think it is the right time to get in touch. Sometimes, I'll be quite honest with you, we have discussion with a brand that lasts for 2, 3, 4 years. And it's about, you know, this alchemy and that right time that we find together. So starting the conversation doesn't mean that we will definitely start a partnership straight away. It can be later on in the years, but we can always exchange about, you know, the cosmetic industry, what you're looking forward to achieve in Canada, and to see if there is a coherence and an equation with what we are and who we are at Prestilux. And if not, we can provide you maybe some contacts also with the best fit.
Perfect. Thank you. And a similar question for you, Fabio. How does one get into the salon side of the business if they're a new company entering the market?
Well, the salon business changed quite heavily in the last few years in all North America. The consolidation of distribution has been a tremendous change. But Canada still remain in some way a little bit more European in some way somehow. So if I can suggest to somebody that want to start to think about developing an international business in North America, Canada represents, I believe, the best opportunity. There is nothing really magic. As Marie and rightly say, today more than ever, you need to be coherent with your product, with your offer. So if you are a professional company, for example, you must have professional products, but you need to provide professional support, like education, for example, that still remain a main pillar for our business. So I believe that if you have the right offer, with the right concept, with the right idea, and lots of support that can make your products interesting for the market, Canada can represent really an extraordinary opportunity for any Italian company that want to knock the door through the North American market.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Well explained. Question for you, Magda. If someone was going to launch their own product, their own brand, can you give me like 3 or 4, or give them 3 or 4 key points and what they must look at first before you do that?
Obviously, the most important thing, you have to know the market you focus, you want to be in. I'm sorry for my English is going. I'm losing the English, but yeah, this is the most important thing, you know, because all the strategy have to be direct to the market. Strategy of marketing, communication, everything, the launching, the network, the social network now, you know, everything have to be focusing on the market you're going in. So this is one of the most important thing for me. I'm sorry about, could you tell me the question again? Ask me the question again.
It was the fact when someone wants to launch a product, it's a brand new product and no one's ever done it before. You know, what are some of the steps that you take to launch that product? 2 or 3 things that you must do, type thing. Yeah, it's to do the strategy to launch it, to where you're going to launch it, who's you're going to attract to your product, the interest, how you're going to build the interest to your products, and also to do the market search about how you can reach those people, or you can attend to communicate to those people. This is the first thing. That's what I'm doing right now, because my product is going to be on the market in spring. And we are putting all together, all the strategy, all the communication, and by which lengths, like Mary, I was listening to her very, very carefully, because I'm going to look for distributors, and now the working with distributors, working with people, is different. The market's changed. It's question of partnership, you know. It's not only you take your product, it's about
it's building the products together to put it in the market, building all the information, building the way to put it, building the stories, bringing the stories. It's all about the stories now. People want to connect with you. They want to know where, why, where, and what is your vision also of the market. It's a lot of things, but you have to combine all those points together and make a strategy and make it happen. But the first thing, it's all about the strategy of communicate your product, who's you going to sell your product, where you're going to put your product, and which kind of réseau, or now it's all about social network.
Absolutely, it is all about social. And one final question for you, Ron. One of our viewers asked if what you feel is going to happen to the spa industry once because of COVID. What's going to change in that industry? It's such a close and up and personal industry. What do you feel is going to change as we move out of COVID?
That's a major impact. COVID has had certainly a major impact. And as soon as they discovered that there was some kind of an airborne challenge to it, one of our suppliers, Lemmy, came up with a screen, a shield that distanced and separated the client from the therapist so that you wouldn't have this air going that way. But that was just one of the things. So I think that if you also look at a lot of the numbers, there's very few cases of people who have caught COVID within the beauty industry, within the hair or the spa industry. The protocols are very strict, and the adhesion to the protocols are very, very strong. And there was also always a sense of sanitation. For example, Medi-spas, they were never closed. There was nothing ever done with those. So there's a degree, we know that we're dealing with skin and with health, and I believe that that with proper care, proper education, proper tools, awareness of what's going on, it's still strong. The industry is still strong. When the spas were closed, a lot of the spas embarked on a spa at home program where the consumer was taught over the web how to do some of their own home care, how to do home masking and so on. When the spas opened up, the consumers were so happy to come in and congratulate that spa for being open and taking those protocols. So I think that that we'll be able to face the industry with many different challenges, and we've done a good job, and that's pretty well worldwide. The place that has been really affected, though, would be, I would say, some of the hotels, where the occupancy within the hotels around the world is so small that they cannot keep their spas or the restaurants open. It's just not economically viable. But as soon as that occupancy starts going up, then I believe that that's one of the things people will seek.
Great points, Ron, and thank you very much. And yes, we certainly feel for the hotel industry and everything else that's going on, and we hope and pray that this thing will be behind us sooner than later. It's now my pleasure. Thank you to all the panelists today for your presentations. It was very informative. I'd like to now introduce Alessandra Allegri. She is the International Sales Manager for Bologna Fier, and owner of the Cosmoprof brand. She has been in the role for 19 years and is responsible for finished product sales for the international shows. Welcome, Alessandra.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Jim, for the introduction, and thank you everyone for being with us. I believe that the majority of you are very familiar with the brand Cosmoprof, but for those who are not, I just would like to say that Cosmoprof is not only the most important and largest beauty show in the world, but it's also your partner when it comes to looking for new opportunities in new markets. What I have here to show you is a short presentation, and I really will try to be very short because I just wanted to give you a glimpse of the many possibilities you have to enlarge your distribution or to launch your product and finding new supplier at the show. So as Jim was just saying, Cosmoprof is the brand which is owned by the Bologna Fiere Group, which is one of the leading international exhibition organizers. Bologna Fiere Group has 80 trade shows all over the world with an incredible number of exhibitors and visitors. Of course, not only in beauty, but they cover different sectors. The entire beauty community gathers here once a year to find partners, to discover trends, to network, to enter new markets, and to find distribution. What I would like to show you now is just the figures of 2019. As you all know, of course, we did not have any show in 2020 and in 2021. The 2020 show was meant to be in March, and we just recently announced that it's going to be moved to the end of April for the safety of our exhibitors and visitors. But if you look at the statistic of 2019, we had really over 3,000 exhibitors, over 200,000 visitors, and really successful shows that everybody knows. This is what I'm showing to you basically is the sum of all our exhibitors and all visitors in every Cosmoprof that we have opened in the world. And as I believe that our strongest point is that under the same roof, you can find every sector of the beauty business represented, from the supply chain to the finished product. Basically, in Cosmoprof Bologna, you can find 3 shows. You can find Cosmopac, which is really the leading international event to focus on the entire beauty supply chain. So whenever you're looking for ideas or you want to develop your product, this is the place where you have to be to find what you're looking for. And then when it comes to finished product, we group the exhibitors based on the distribution channel for the ease of the buyers, but we really represent everything from high-end products to mass market to green and natural to fragrancy, and then coming to the professional distribution from hair to beauty, spa, products, machinery, equipment for salon, everything. And of course, I'm referring also to the nail business. As I said, I promised to be quick. What I wanted to highlight is that in order to help our exhibitors to find a new business opportunity, we have created something which is called the buyer program, which aims at connecting exhibitors and buyers even before the show starts. How does it work? Selected buyers can enjoy benefits such as hospitality or a prearranged agenda of meetings so that they can maximize their visit to the show. And this is something which is really appreciated by our exhibitors and also our buyers, because what we are helping them, it's a service. We will help them to scout the brands that they are really looking for or the suppliers that they're looking for. And they will not lose time at the show, because with over 3,000 exhibitors, you may easily imagine how time consuming it is to find what you are looking for. In addition to the exhibition area, Cosmoprof offers you the opportunity to discover new trends and also market update thanks to the seminars that we organize in cooperation with the most important media partners, and also the most important trend agency that come to the show. But Cosmoprof is not only Italy, it's also your partner in different parts of the world. As I said, we can offer our services, our knowledge of the market in several areas. Cosmoprof Asia was the second show launched after Cosmoprof Bologna. As you can see, it's going to be the 25th edition, sorry. And it's the leading B2B shows for those who are looking for distribution into the Asia Pacific countries. And now, after 25 years, it has become the second largest show in the world, to the point where a few years ago we have launched Cosmopack to highlight the fact that the beauty supply chain is really strongly represented in Cosmoprof Asia as well. For those who are targeting the Americas, 20 years ago we have created this new show, Cosmoprof North America, which has a specific focus on the US, on Canada, and Latin America. And today, I can say that this is definitely the most important B2B shows in US, and certainly the only one that can claim to have under the same roof all the sector represented, from the supply chain to the finished product. In July, we are going to have the 19th edition, and we had just recently moved to a new venue, the Las Vegas Convention Center, where we have positioned Cosmoprof in the West Hall and Cosmopack in the North Hall. The Las Vegas Convention Center has been recently renovated, and the show is proven to be a record-breaking event. Also because, as you may see, the American market, it's really important at the moment. The companies are really looking at this market as one of the most important places to develop their business. I am proud to say that Cosmoprof is also a front runner. We are trying to find a new market, emerging market, and help our companies to be there before the market is fully exploited. So for this reason, 3 years ago, we have launched Cosmoprof India, which is still growing. As you may see, the figures are not the usual numbers we are used to, but consider that though the market it's very large and that the population is really immense, it's also a really still growing market. And we are confident that in the next year we will be having a large number of exhibitors coming to find the distribution in this country, which is, as I said, which has a very large and young population eager to find new products. In 2020, before the pandemic, we have decided to launch a new Cosmoprof, which could not happen, and for this reason we'll see the first edition next September. Cosmoprof CB ASEAN is in Thailand, and will be specifically devoted to those companies who are looking for distribution in a specific area of Asian market, in an area which is really growing, and it's the Asian market. So it's how can I say, it's a spin-off, let's say like this. It's a spin-off of Cosmoprof Asia because it's focusing on some specific country. These are the figures that we anticipate for the next edition, the first one, which is going to be next September. As you all know, in 2020 and 2021, we could not have any show because of the pandemic. So for this reason, we have supported the companies thanks to digital events, which have offered business opportunity in a virtual format. The event have been successful, even if be present at the show, it's a different kind of experience. And for the future, we really hope that we will not miss the in-person experience. We will probably create a hybrid form of show, so the digital part will not be discarded, but we still believe that the human touch and the human relationship cannot be replaced by any virtual event. But as you know, in addition to the shows that are branded Cosmoprof, thanks to alliances with other trade show organizers, we have other shows which are targeting specifically and smaller area of the world. For example, for those who are targeting the Greater Bay Area in China, we have created 3 years ago South China Beauty Expo, which is really a focus on the Greater Bay Area and specifically devoted to those companies who are looking for distribution in Chinese market. For the same reason, we have partnered with other organizers to have shows devoted to very specific countries like Vietnam, like Malaysia, like Indonesia, or Philippines. All countries which are strategic and emerging, and will be representing the future for many brands. When it comes to Europe, in 2018, Bologna Fiere has acquired the German group Health and Beauty, which is the owner of the Beauty Forum brand. This acquisition has consolidated the Bologna Fiere leadership in Europe, thanks to a large array of shows in different EU countries. And these shows are focusing on professional beauty and nail sector in particular. So when it comes to launch a product or finding a new product, we have plenty of successful case history to tell you, and this is not the right moment, of course, to go into details on how many companies could find their business in our Cosmoprof. But if you're looking for expanding in your market, or if you're looking for building your product that can be the next it product, I really encourage you to be at the show, in particular to be at Cosmoprof Bologna next end of April, but also, of course, Cosmoprof Asia and Cosmoprof North America and the other shows will be welcoming you. Thank you.
Thank you, Alessandra, and we wish you all the best to get back to in-person events this year. Our final speaker will move back and hear from Marco Saladini, who is going to give us some important news. Marco?
Yes, Jim. Congratulations on your moderation. It's wonderful. I mean, we got so much from this webinar so far. And yeah, my task here is to talk about the way forward. So what? I mean, we have all these suppliers, all these buyers, all these new ideas and concepts, and what do we do with that? So our small contribution to moving forward and having some business to do, which is our goal, of course, is to launch today a new tool that we have developed. It's a small, not so small really, I mean it's decently sized web catalog that we have prepared together with the association, and launching a call for companies that would be interested in doing business in Canada, and then vetting these companies somehow in the preparation of the website. So the website is launching today as a soft launch for those who have been so gracious to participate in our webinar, and it will be launched later, but please don't wait, and consult those pages that we are indicating to you now: italianbeauty-canada.digital.ice.it, and this is the web address. you will find a lot of new products and suppliers, from personal hygiene to personal care, oral care, skin care, body care, hair care, beauty and makeup, natural care, bio beauty products, perfume, personal and home fragrances. So basically the whole spectrum, from more than 40 companies that that participated, and many of them, there was a question about this before, offer private labeling services. So you can have their products customized to look a little bit like yours, like your products, your chain of salons or chain of stores, or even more specific than that. So what you have to do to get in touch? We have prepared specific, pages for each of those brands that you see here, these 40 plus brands that we are introducing. Some of them are new, some of them are already established in the market and are looking for expansion. You will find a brief about each, with a textual description of the company and its products, with tags and a contact information section, which will have the link to the contact information for which you will have to register, and I'll come to that in a second. And then a third space is a showcase of one or more products with pictures or videos and descriptions for each one. So a thorough presentation of each product, and then of course links to further in-depth presentation of the products, and a space for company presentations and videos as well. So a full picture in brief though, so you can browse and see, and also look into tags inside this website for groups of suppliers that may fit your needs. When it comes to registration, it's very simple. There are only a few mandatory fields, and basically we need to know who you are. Also in terms of transparency towards the suppliers, and to make sure that everything is all right, and then you'll get access to this database that will afford you the opportunity. And don't forget that it's limited to this group for a few days to get in touch with the new suppliers. And of course, this is also in preparation for actual meetings at Cosmoprof that remains one of the strongholds of business development for Italian cosmetic companies, and from other countries too, of course. Now, the way forward includes also more activities that the Italian Trade Commission, together with the association and other partners, is going to work on. They're all to be confirmed, but we're already starting to design and fund and structure them. So there will be a webinar for Italian companies about the access to Canadian market in February. I know some of them are following this webinar, so I wanted to mention that. Then we hope to bring a Canadian delegation to Cosmoprof in April. So stay tuned, because we will be searching for candidates. And there will be, or might be, a Canadian buyer's trip to Italy, with visits to companies and B2B meetings, another occasion to go into more detail about how things are made and where, and of course, doing business talks. And then mission of delegates of Italian companies to Canada, with events, demonstrations, and B2B meetings as well. And this last thing must take place in the fall. Please stay tuned. Follow us on our social media accounts. You will find the links, the direct links in the presentation, or you can browse by hashtag and use those hashtags to stay on the same page. Last but not least, I wanted to thank everyone who made this possible, the staff here in Toronto and Rome, the journalists like Jim, the wonderful presenters that saves a lot of their time today to share some things with us. Thank you all, and please don't hesitate to contact us if you need anything.
Thank you, Mario, and thank you all again, all of our presenters and the Italian Trade Commission. I think it's been a wonderful morning. Great to celebrate Cosmetics Day in Canada, and everyone stay well and be healthy. We'll get through this. Cheers. Thanks again.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you so much.